Imagine for a moment standing at the edge of a quiet lake. The water is still, reflecting the sky above with perfect clarity. Then a stone is thrown. Ripples spread, distorting the reflection, making the surface agitated and unpredictable. This is often how criticism feels. A stone hurled into the calm waters of our self-perception, creating ripples of doubt, defensiveness, or even anger. For many of us, the immediate instinct is to flinch, to shrink away from the impact, or perhaps to throw a stone back. We might feel a hot flush of shame, a tightening in the chest, or a sudden urge to explain ourselves, to defend our actions or intentions. The world seems to tilt, and for a fleeting, uncomfortable moment, our sense of self feels profoundly shaken. But what if there was another way? What if, instead of shrinking, we could stand firm, observing the ripples without being swept away by them? This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers us a remarkable path. It teaches us not to be impervious to the world, but to cultivate an inner fortress, an unshakable sense of self that remains steady amidst the storms of external opinion. A Stoic, when faced with criticism, does not crumble. They listen, they hear, and then, with deliberate reason, they weigh. Consider that initial sting, that rush of emotion. A Stoic understands that this feeling is not the criticism itself, but their judgment of the criticism. Epictetus, the former slave who became a profound Stoic teacher, reminded us that it is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of things. When a critical word reaches our ears, it's merely an impression, a perception. Our power lies in whether we give our assent to that impression, whether we allow it to define us or derail our inner peace. So, the first step in this Stoic fortitude is to listen without shrinking. This doesn't mean we are immune to feeling. We are human after all. But it means we practice a deliberate pause. Instead of reacting instinctively, we create a space between the criticism and our response. We recognize the sensation, perhaps the discomfort, but we don't allow it to dictate our next move. We choose not to recoil, not to lash out, but to maintain our posture, our internal equilibrium. It's an act of courage, a refusal to let external words diminish our inner worth. We simply listen, open-eared, allowing the words to land without immediately assigning them value, or allowing them to penetrate our core sense of self. Once we've mastered the art of listening without shrinking, the next crucial step is to weigh it with reason. Not all criticism is equal. Some may be delivered with malicious intent, born of envy or misunderstanding. Other times it might be clumsy, poorly articulated, yet contain a kernel of truth. And occasionally it is simply noise, irrelevant to our path or our values. The Stoic approach invites us to bring a calm, objective mind to this evaluation. We ask ourselves, is this criticism true? Is there any validity to what is being said? Does it offer an opportunity for growth or correction? If the answer is yes, then criticism, however painful its delivery, becomes a gift, a chance to refine our character, improve our actions, or gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. The Stoics were relentless in their pursuit of virtue and self-improvement, and they understood that honest feedback, even from an adversary, could be a valuable tool. But what if the criticism is untrue? What if it's merely a projection of someone else's issues or a fundamental misunderstanding? Here, reason guides us to dismiss it. We acknowledge it, perhaps even feel a brief moment of sympathy for the one who delivers it, but we do not internalize it. We do not allow it to disrupt our inner citadel. We recognize it as an external event outside of our control, and therefore something we need not attach our emotional well-being to. This discerning process, this application of reason, is vital. It's the difference between blindly accepting every word flung our way and consciously choosing what to integrate into our personal narrative. And finally, through this practice, we learn to stand steady in our sense of self. This is the ultimate aim. Our self-worth, in the Stoic view, is not derived from external validation or the absence of criticism. It stems from our commitment to virtue, to wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the only true good, and they reside entirely within our control. When we live in accordance with these virtues, our character becomes our anchor. Criticism may still arise, but it becomes merely an observation about an external event, not a judgment on our intrinsic value. We understand that opinions about us are just that, opinions. They are not facts about our character, unless we choose to make them so. Our inner compass remains aligned with our values, our principles, and our unwavering commitment to being the best version of ourselves. We can hear the words, understand their potential implications, and yet remain wholly ourselves, undiminished, unthreatened. So, the next time criticism arises, consider it an invitation to practice, to listen without shrinking, holding steady your internal calm, to weigh with reason, separating truth from noise, and ultimately to stand even firmer in your sense of self, knowing that your worth is an internal flame that no external wind can extinguish. This isn't about becoming indifferent or unfeeling. It's about becoming unshaken. It's about cultivating a quiet confidence that allows us to engage with the world, accept its varied judgments, and continue on our path with integrity and grace. What does this journey mean for you? How might applying these Stoic principles transform your relationship with criticism? Perhaps you've already found ways to navigate these challenging moments with resilience. I invite you to reflect on this, and if you feel moved, share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights not only enrich our collective understanding, but also provide valuable support for others on their own journey towards Stoic fortitude. Thank you for listening, and may you find stillness amidst the ripples.